Beneath the algorithmic grids, the modern myth rises as a fugitive luminosity, a ghostly trace of tradition in the realm of salvational charge. Once, the pulse of seasons dictated the rhythm, embedding humans within nature's metabolic script. Now, these cadences flicker only in the fragments of an urban hyperreality, bioart, or the hallucinatory scenes of a shape-shifting code. The flattening myth of an eternal culture, a delusion of frictionless infinity has severed us from the flux, replacing farmlands with server farms, circadian cycles with the endless scroll. Yet here, in the twilight of our synthetic horizons, a question arises. Can AI, as both medium and craft, rethread the severed sinews between human praxis and organic intelligence? The artists and designers of the screen culture age operate within this schism. 95% of discourse dissolves into static of ethical posturing, a carnival of solutions mistaking hashtags for harvests. But the residual, metacultural, vanguard grasps that this modern myth is not nostalgic. It is an insurgent logic. To embed artificial intelligence within craft is not to colonize the pastoral with the silicon, but to confront the apparatus itself as a site of negotiation. Consider man-made tools once honed by stone, now by algorithm. If our ancestral tools carved meaning from materials, what might neural networks extract from the latent patterns of eroding dialects, vanishing ecosystems, or the choreographies of age-old crafts? Here, AI becomes a spectral loom, weaving non-linear archives, not as frozen artifacts, but as living systems, mutable and responsive as mycelium. Yet this demands a reckoning with the apparatus shadow. AI, lithium veins, cognitive sweatshops, data plantations, all replicate the very extractivism that gutted rural rhythms. Here the cloud is not air, it is ethanol, a toxic byproduct of the myth that progress floats untethered from soil. To instrumentalize AI as a guardian of heritage requires more than curatorial algorithms. It necessitates a hacking of the machine's ontology. Imagine training models not on the plundered datasets of globalized culture, but on the embodied knowledge of Paiharanang farmers. Their practice is encrypted with generations of drought and bloom. Here the digital craftsman turns trickster, bending AI to map the negative spaces within urban sprawls, or to simulate the polyphonic temporality of a forest, rendered not as data points, but as a durational syntax. The screen flickers. On one plane, the flattening, the eternal scroll of synthetic sameness. On the other, a glitch, a fractal of the modern myth seeping through. As artists, our task is to amplify this rupture, to weaponize AI logic against its own colonial frameworks. Think of generative adversarial networks, not as mimicry engines, but as ritual tools, conjuring hybrid forms, where ancestral patterns mutate into 3D bioremediation scaffolds, or where the arrhythmic pulses of a polluted river train neural nets. This is craft reimagined as interface, where the hand that carves and the hand that codes collaborate in trans-temporal dialogue, a refusal of the myth that tradition and innovation are antagonists. In the chemical half-light of a negative dawn, laughter echoes as a systemic anomaly. AI destabilizes binaries. To wield it is to embrace its ambiguity. Let the machine learn the cicada's rhythm. Let it parse the semiotics of lichen reclaiming concrete. Let it map the epigenetic migrating patterns of culture onto 3D topographies. The goal is not resolution, but resonance, a vibrational alignment. Between the server's hum and the soil's whisper, the eternal culture crumbles. What emerges is neither utopia nor apocalypse, but a recombinant craft, an art of splicing temporalities, of encoding the organic within the algorithmic. Here, AI is not in opposition to the creation myth, but within it, a radiant strata, another layer in humanity's eternal project, rendering meaning from the world in its own synthetic light.